Creativity, the person. To understand creativity, we must understand what makes people creative. What are their characteristics, their habits, and thoughts? Though creative people are often thought as being eccentric and stereotypically anguished, Mihai Csikszentmihalyi recently interviewed 90 of the most creative people in the world in art, music, science, and business, and found that most of them were brought up in very upbeat and positive families. There were only few cases with negative parental force. People are not born creative or not. Rather, they're born into families that support creative behaviors. Familial attitude towards creativity, be it humor, play, encouragement, access to materials, these are what's important. But because many of the characteristics of a creative personality have negative connotations associated with them, artistic people or creative people do have to fight off many stereotypes. For example, the flip side of originality could be seen as disobedience. Curiosity can be seen as challenging authority. Having a sense of humor may be perceived as being immature or unprofessional. And energetic people are sometimes thought of as fidgety or having no self-control. An open-minded person might be thought of as indecisive, a sensitive person as needy, an inventive person as strange or non-conforming. Somebody who's comfortable being alone may be thought of as antisocial or moody. And though I'm not going to state that every creative person has all of these traits, but these groupings do synthesize recurring characteristics of creative people. But creative people have attitudes. They are open to novelty, they have a tolerance for ambiguity and complexity, and these attitudes allow them to take on creative endeavors full speed ahead. Creative people also have what we call a growth mindset. They believe their skills and abilities can be developed. They engage in hard work and they demonstrate effort, and when they make mistakes, they learn and they grow from them. Students with a growth mindset are much more likely to use creativity as a source of engagement, whereas students who have a fixed mindset do not believe effort and engagement really make a difference at all. They believe they were not born with a certain potential, and therefore they won't be able to succeed. I do wish Mihai's description of two types of creative people as being little c or big C would infiltrate society just a little bit more. Big C people are eminent in their field. They often bring about societal change, and these are just, really big, inspiring artists, business people, musicians, etc. Where little c people use their creativity to affect their everyday lives. Indeed, many people don't see themselves as creative because their own idea of creativity is beyond their perceived reach. They think of creativity as something that only big C people engage in. Beliefs that only special, talented people are creative and you have to be born that way diminish our confidence in our creative abilities. But we are not born feeling defeated in our creativity. In a study conducted by George Land, where he tested 1,600 5-year-olds, he found that 98% of children exhibited creative attributes. Land followed these children for 10 more years. By the time they were 10 years old, 30% exhibited creative attributes, and by the time they were 15, only 12% exhibited creative attributes. The same test was given to almost 300,000 adults, and the result is astounding. Only 2% of these adults exhibited creative attributes. Land's study concludes that non-creative behavior is learned. Sir Kenneth Robinson says we are educating people out of their creative capacities. If you are one of those 300,000 adults who feels stifled in your creativity, I need you to expand your definition of what creativity is. If you are a little c, be a little c. Be bold in your little c. And remember, it is not if you are creative, but how you are creative.